Well, okay, so there's one that's very specific to Eastern Europe. Um, that's again, I find it fascinating and funny at the same time. It's in Bulgaria. Um, so they have this thing where, I mean, it's not really tradition or customs, but it's sort of their way to communicate, right? They have this weird thing in Bulgaria where when they say yes or no with their head gestures, it's reversed from what we know. I want to say everywhere else in the world, right? So they say no like this, and they say yes like this, right? And that, I mean, I spend significant amount of time in Bulgaria, and I I got myself in situations where, for example, I want to fly a drone, right? Kind of sensitive. You can't fly a drone everywhere. You need permits. You need to, know that what you're doing is illegal. So I walk up to a police officer. I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, can I fly my drone around here?" And he goes, "How did he said no?" And I was like, "No." And then he left, and I was like, "Okay." So I asked a question, but I actually still don't know what I can or can't do here. And then I started observing, and I just noticed that everyone just does this. So this is no, this is yes. So that was cool, I guess. The other one I would say applies to essentially anywhere in Africa and the Middle East, essentially anywhere outside of the Western world, right? Being half Moroccan, half African, I noticed a certain brown privilege. I want to call it brown privilege, okay? That exists in a lot of countries in Africa and in the Middle East and so on and so forth, also in Central Asia, where the moment people hear my name, because I have a very clearly Arabic sounding name, I mean Idrisi, right? The moment they hear my name, instantly all the distrust just disappeared. I sort of instantly gain people's trusts for some reason. Where in Europe and in North America, it's the opposite. When I introduce myself as Ami Idrisi, a clearly Arabic sounding name, I earn people's distrust. It's exactly the opposite. So here, being who I am, a half Moroccan, half African with this name, I just make friends and connections way easier than in Europe or in North America. So this is, to me, probably the best news of this new life of mine around here. Okay. Um, I think for this, I'll give you the extreme example, and I'll explain in a second why, and it'll have to be Pakistan. Pakistan is a country that just with its name gets a lot of people in the West uncomfortable because they associate Pakistan with, terrorism, extremist ideologies, to some extent 9/11 even. So it has a pretty nasty reputation abroad. Now, I'm not saying that everywhere in the country is super safe and you should go, like do your own research, talk to the people on the ground, and avoid the places where you shouldn't go. But what I'm saying is that there are places in the country, and many of them, in fact, that are totally fine. And just to give you an example, um, I went towards the Afghan-Pakistani border in Pakistan, because I had heard that the city of Peshawar, which is very close to Afghanistan, was now pretty safe compared to what it was before. It was super dangerous, a lot of terrorist militias operating around, but that's no longer the case. So I went there, and I, my mission was essentially to call back home to like as many people as I knew. Like, hey, look at that! I'm in Pakistan. I'm in Pakistan. Over there is Afghanistan, and I'm safe. Right? Are you worried? Well, you shouldn't be. I'm fine. Right? And then I was just showing them normal life, daily life, how people live, the food, the culture, and people were like, "Oh yeah, there's normal people there. Nice. Okay." So I really love to deconstruct these stereotypes, and Pakistan is probably one of the best places to do that because of its bad reputation.